I can
Can
see
you
it.
see it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I'll try to be fast, maybe in 5 minutes. So just a disclaimer first, I'm not a game developer. I'm a core developer. I joined the project early on, but I did this experiment during the experiment week and also during the ETH online event. I submitted the project there as well. So this is my project, Cryptopolis, bringing the city simulator that started it all to the crypto era. Um, and I give a brief overview or history about city building games. This is the latest one that launched this month, and going back all the way to the original game SimCity, which was published in 1989, so 34 years ago, right? So the original game was released under open source license in 2008, and that's what I use it to build my game, right? So how the game economics work? You basically start a city with a budget, a 20,000 budget, and then you start building the city, like building industrial zones, residential zones, roads, and so on. You spend your money doing that, and then once a year you get city taxes from the people, right? So how did I introduce crypto in the game? Uh, the first step, you bridge tokens from the base layer into the app chain. Um, the game economics is backed by a ERC20 token, right? So I do a bridge, and then I invest 20,000 tokens to build initial game. I choose the city, and I start building the city. Everything that I spend, I transfer tokens from in-game wallet to the people's wallet, and every time the people pays you back in taxes, I transfer tokens back from the people to the in-game wallet. This is an example of how the economics work. So, for example, if you build an industry zone for $100 and 1 year passes, for example, this is October 1900 and this is March 1901. So you had $100 in expenses and, for example, $20 in tax credit. So I move $80 from the city to the people. On the other end, if you had, for example, 2020, $220 in taxes, I move 120 uh, the other way, right, from the people to the city. So this is basically how the economics work. How did I build the game? So the first step was to take the original engine of the game, and I built it to the RISC-V architecture. The original code builds unmodified. Um, so this is to build a Cartesi machine, which will provide like a verifiable environment to build a real economics on the game, right? So the second step was to build a Cartesi Rollups application. The Rollups dApp will manage the wallets, will run the game simulation, and take every input that the user does and run the game, right? And keep track of the economics. The last step was to build a brand new UI. It was a very simple UI with just the basics that I needed to uh, make this proof of concept. And I used a bunch of libraries to do that, including the original artwork for the game, which is also open source. So I can do a quick demo. I'll try to be quick. So you can choose, for example, you can choose the map you wanna play on. You create a city, right? So this is the terrain, the canvas. So you start, for example, by building a power plant, right? and then I can put like a industry zone right next to it. And you can see up here the budget, 16, the date of the game and the population. So I can build a residential zone next, right next to the industry. And then I can build, for example, roads. And you can already see the population, the residential zone growing, and the industry is building as well. It's growing. So at some point, you're gonna see a population here for 80 people. And that's basically how the game works. I've not spend any more time in the game, but you can start building the city, right? So going back to the presentation, sorry. Future improvements. One plan is to run the simulation of the game inside the browser as well, because I'm only running the simulation in the Cartesi dApp, right? So it's on, so to say, the server. So every input I send goes to the server. The server advances the game and sends back the state of the game. So I need to run these inside the browser as well, so it can have like a more real-time experience. And there is a lot of features of the original game that would need to be implemented to have a full experience of the game, right? So this is the final thanks, and that's it.